Dear White People, I had no idea what to expect when I picked this movie, but that's partly why I chose it. I feel like a movie needs to really invoke different emotions in people, curiosity, joy. If it didn't, people wouldn't be as passionate about movies, and that's why I chose it, because without passion, it would have been just another assignment. This is a movie that I don't usually watch. It was found pretty easily and on the movie rental application that I have. That's another reason why I chose it. I knew I needed to be able to watch it quite a few times, so I needed it to be at the tips of my fingers pretty much. Um, there's a few competent communicators, and some are better than others. In this movie, I decided to go with Sam White, an African American student who was trying to make her a name for herself at this Ivy League college by voicing the things that have been done to her and her race. She's a good communicator, but not always a competent one. She says anything that's on her mind, even if it's inappropriate or uncalled for. She has many different forms of communication under her belt. She hosts a radio station called Dear White People, which is also a YouTube channel. She got elected head of her house, so she's in charge of her dorm. She is also in a class where she makes movies for the class. She uses old school black and white the film that's on the reels. For most of her presentations, the talk show is very, it's got a lot of touchy subjects, iffy subjects. So if she's okay voicing, and again, it's about how white people are hypocrites and what they've done wrong to their race and how she doesn't like it, how they shouldn't act, things they shouldn't say. If she's able to do that in a talk show, she's obviously a good communicator. Sam is a good listener too, but at times it's for the wrong reasons. She uses she uses different types of aggression and passive aggression. There's a lot of aggression in the way she speaks with certain people, but then there are times when she shows signs of empathy and passion. Her aggressiveness, she uses in a lot of disconfirming responses, which shows a complete lack of regard for the other people. There are times when she could have changed the situation with a better type of communication, but she didn't, which shows signs of a wide range of behaviors. Sam also shows skills when performing these certain behaviors. It's not her first day, obviously. A lot of times they're negative, though. She comes off as strong-willed, kind of a bully. Bullheaded, overly intelligent to the point where making people feel small sometimes. She knows how to use these in aggravated situations. It's not always the right way, but eventually she's capable of using these skills in a positive way towards the end of the movie. Self-monitoring is a behavior that she exhibits well. She knows which way to work the situation, which way to work people to make it come out in her favor. And even if it's not what others like, she knows what to do to get her point across, no matter the cause or the outcome. When it comes to control, Sam has the behavior down to a T. She's already very defensive and uses control to get the situation to go the way she wants. She shows little or no regard for other people that she's communicating with. She doesn't care how she hurts their feelings. In the first major conflict, Sam shows that she's got no problem communicating. Her conflict was with Kyle, the overprivileged white cocky kid, the son of the school's president. He's sitting in her dorm's cafeteria, and he is also the writer of a humorous paper at their school. Kyle interrupted Sam when she was talking to her peers, and he was some kind of rude remark, and she got up right away. And she pretty much told him where to shove it, and when he won't leave, she walks over to him very confidently and flips his food over on his plate, and he stands up and she gets in her face. She gets in his face. He jokes a little bit, and then he tells his friends pretty much, let's go. When she realized that there was going to be a conflict, she uses defense as a way to communicate. She's very defensive. She likes to control the situation, so I would say the type of communication is control versus problem orientation. She does not do problem orientation. When Kyle is being a jerk and he acts like he's better than everyone else, that's kind of how the conflict started. It was Sam that acted like she was better than him. When she gets up because of Kyle's offer to have her work on his humorous newspaper, even though he's not being sincere, she starts verbally giving it right back to him. They go back and forth a little bit. She tries to control the situation, and it doesn't work right away, but then she does avert it by telling him to leave, and when he won't leave, she gets up and does the action of flipping the plate, which uses aggression to make herself look more confident. When she told him to leave and he wouldn't, she had to take control of the situation, and the only way she could do that was by flipping the plate over. She makes it seem like she has an issue with people of the other races, but we find out that she actually has a boyfriend that's white who is a TA of her film class. She's secretly having a film fling with him because she's with an African American boy that she feels like she has to be with, even though she's not really happy. And later on, we quickly find out that she's got a father who is pretty ill, and he is also white, and she's trying to make up for guilt that she feels towards him. She has some internal struggles, which is obvious. I would have used more neutrality versus empathy. When I was doing something like this, it would have gotten, I think, the better point across, being neutral and not acting like she cares what the other kid thinks. I know a lot of times when people are communicating and one gets worked up, people think that they're actually getting under their skin, so it really is bothering them. So if she would have acted calm and cool and kind of neutral, but also assertive, I think it would have gotten her a lot farther. She comes off as really defensive, and she's definitely indifferent. Like the book says, there isn't a conflict unless both parties are at a disagreement. So you see the express conflict right away when Kyle, because he is so cocky and he acts like he's so much more privileged because his father's president, she, which rightfully so, takes it as he's racist towards her race. So, when she starts the fight with him, I think that if she would have just been a little bit more assertive and not so aggressive, that would have been a better type of communication. If she would have went with assertion, I think it would have, the whole thing wouldn't have gotten so escalated throughout the movie. There was obviously other things that happened and that made it get more out of hand. But, and who knows, that might not have worked with Kyle because he is such a jerk, but that is how I would have communicated. As far as them solving the issue, they're both going to probably have to agree to disagree. They're both too strong-willed to give in, even though Kyle gets arrested and he kind of gets humiliated. He should definitely see that he's not right, but in the end, it's very obvious he doesn't. So, like I said, they're going to just have to agree to disagree. When I was taking this class and we were learning about different things, I learned right away that I am not a good listener. And I also am just overall not a good communicator. I'm very defensive. I use selective listening. I'm insensitive sometimes. I'm defensive. Um, I would use more aggression in my answers. I think being defensive is a safety mechanism. I'm trying to protect myself, but that's also why I come off as rude to people, because I use this type of communication even when I don't need to. Um, so I have learned that I need to take a step back and um, actually listen, hear what the other person is saying, not thinking the entire time how I'm going to come back with a response, because that's exactly what I do. And I tend to interrupt even though I don't necessarily mean to. I come off as really loud and short. So I overall just need to think of how I would want the other person to talk to me, and how the different types of communication I was using, I need to start changing and progressing towards the better the better ways to communicate. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to have issues with communication for the rest of my life. I've taken a lot away from this class, and I really enjoyed you as a teacher. So I hope you have a great holiday, and maybe someday I will get to see you again.